Okay, so I really want to start a podcast. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just, um, I just have a lot of things on my mind, and I'm going through a very difficult time, and I have some things that I need to sort out, and I need to talk about it, and I can't really talk to anyone about it because I would literally speak their heads off. Like, I would talk for hours and hours, and I would literally not give anybody a chance to speak. So, might as well put it into a podcast, then people can actually, if they want to listen to it, they could. And if they don't have to. And I can keep talking and talking, and no one has to talk back to me. And I can work through the things in my head. So, that's why I wanted to start this podcast. Also, I bought headsets online, and after like 3 weeks, nothing happened with the order. Like, it was supposed to be delivered and nothing happened. And when I contacted the company, I was like, hey guys, I didn't receive my order. Can you just cancel it because I no longer need it? Like, it's fine. And they canceled it. And then, like, maybe 2 weeks later, someone showed up at my door with the with the headphones. And I already got refunded for it. So it was like, I got free headphones. And it has a mic. And I was like, okay, well, I can probably use this for my podcast, maybe. Also my boyfriend really wants them. I kind of like broke his headsets for his gaming because I like ran over it with the chair, like over the cord, and I feel really bad about it. But I think I should just take the headsets to him when I visit him, and he could just use it, and then I'll buy him his headsets for like Christmas, because Christmas is like in 3 months, so I'll buy him maybe new ones for Christmas. But anyway, so another reason why I like want to start this podcast is because I've always been a person that has a lot on my mind and a lot of things that I want to talk about, and I never really had someone to talk to with all of my shit that's going on in my head, and it's literally fucking chaos inside of my head. And then I became an Emma Chamberlain fan, obviously. So Emma Chamberlain has this podcast that she obviously started later in her career where she just rambles about things that's on her mind. And I had like the same concept, but I wasn't sure if it was something that people wanted to listen to, because a lot of podcasts have guests, like Joe Rogan, Call Her Daddy. Other podcasts, have a niche. So that's why people are interested in it. And so, yeah, I wasn't sure to like start it, but I came to a point in my life where I just really, for my mental health, needed to talk about my shit, even if it was to myself or to a microphone, and other people listen to it and resonate to it and maybe have some advice for me as well. So thanks to Emma Chamberlain for inspiring me, obviously, to get this shit up and running. So, yeah, I started watching YouTube when she started breaking out. I only started watching YouTube in 2015, 16, so I was a little late to the scene, but I made it, and I'm still a YouTube kid. I'm on YouTube all the time. I'm not a TikTok person at all. I do have TikTok, but I only watch the people that I follow, and I don't really watch the For You page. I don't want anything recommended to me. I don't want to be addicted to it. So only the people that I follow on YouTube, but I want to see some of their TikTok content that is not shared on YouTube, I watch on TikTok. So I literally just watch maybe 10 people on TikTok, and that's it. So anyway, as a kid, through school, in primary school, I had maybe a group of friends, but in high school also like a bunch of girls that sit together every break, talking, being friends. But I wasn't necessarily friends with them all, but girls always sit in groups, whatever. But and I had best friends first year in high school, second year, but the first 2 years my best friends moved away from me to different schools and stuff. So we weren't that close anymore after they moved, because my father was someone who said that I can't visit my friends on weekends. I can't go to them because I see them every day at school. Why do I need to see them on weekends? Weekends are for family. So I was never one of those kids that spent every weekend at their friend's house or them at mine. So anyway, after that I also had best friends every year with someone else, and I didn't always feel comfortable sharing every part of my thoughts with them. And all those thoughts build up after all these years. I mean, I'm now 23 years old, and I still got so much shit going on in my head, even from high school, and I just need to get it off of my chest. And I'm not sure what I'm going to call this podcast. I don't want people to know who I am, though, because I want to share a lot of personal things on this podcast, a lot about mental health and my own thoughts and personal experiences that happened to me that were either traumatic or like shaped the person who I am. And I don't want my family, my parents, certain friends of mine, like people who know me, I don't want them to know that these are my stories, that these are my thoughts. I don't want to be a public person. I still want to be private. Like, my mental health could seriously not deal with the fact of being a public figure and having people judge me on the choices that I've made and the experiences that I've had, because it's really fucked up. Like, it's some Tana Mongeau shit. And I did not necessarily have the childhood that Tana Mongeau did, like her parents. Like, I have really good parents. Obviously not, my parents aren't perfect, and there are some things that they did that affected my life, but I don't hate them for it, because they're also just people, and they make mistakes, and, you know, not everything's perfect, but they love me with all of their heart, and they're very lovable people and parents, and, you know, my point is, I just want to keep this private, so this podcast is going to be pretty anonymous. I don't want anybody to know who I am, and I want to call it, like, anonymous something, like AA, but, like, I don't want to make fun of people who have to go to AA, like, Addicts Anonymous, or is it Anonymous Addicts? I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so AA stands for Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay. Well, I'm not an alcoholic, per se, but I'm a binge drinker. Like, I don't drink a lot, but then I have so many things that goes on in my head, and I struggle with my mental health, and then when I'm in a situation where I drink alcohol, I binge drink a lot, and I've had episodes in this last 2 years where I really drank so much that I forgot, like, what happened, and people had to, like, tell me the next morning what I did and what I said, and I've been really ashamed of that, and it's something that I really want to work on. But I'm not necessarily an alcoholic, but I was a serious, like, binge drinker, but it was so far apart that in your head you might think that it's not a problem. But the last experience that I had, I went to a festival, like a music festival or something, with family of mine that wasn't, like, my parents and, like, small cousins of mine, and I binge drank, and I got so drunk that they had to take me home even before, like, the main act showed up on stage, and I ruined it for everybody, and I was so ashamed. I didn't remember anything. People laughed at me at the festival, like, who saw me drunk, sleeping, falling around, like, and it was really horrifying to me. I really, even though I can't remember that much, just the fact that it happened, and, like, dealing with it in your head, like, the aftermath is so traumatic. And it kind of, like, also was like, girl, you gotta start a podcast. You gotta talk about the shit in your head, because you're not fucking okay. You are not okay. And I'm really good at pretending that I'm okay, but I'm not. But I want to be okay. Eventually I want to be okay. So I want to work through these things. I studied psychology for 3 years, but I can't be a therapist or whatever with 3 years psychology that I had as a major, but it's still, like, when I did study psychology, I have learned that if anybody has access to psychology studies, even from a young age, they would be able to work through traumatic experiences and recover from them much easily if they understand how their psyche works and how it affects them, and how to, like, fix it yourself. So, because mental health is obviously a very big issue, and I've struggled with my mental health for a really long time. Recently, I discovered my old Instagram account when I was, like, 15 years old, 14, 15, and I was so depressed, and that's when I started self-harming, and self-harming turned into self-sabotaging when I was older. And now that I'm 23 years old, I am in debt counseling. I have been a victim of, like, irresponsible lending, like, lending a lot of money, being dependent on credit, and spending a lot of it on fucked up shit, just stupid shit that will make me feel better for, like, a small period of time, but then afterwards I feel bad. And it's kind of also like an addiction, like buying stuff all the time, like a shopaholic type of thing. I don't know. I think it also has a lot to do with social media and the fact that you see other people, like, with all this pretty stuff, and, like, I'm a girl, like, cute stuff, shoes, bags, like, and fashion, and, you know, you want all that stuff, but you can't get it, and then you get credit, and you can buy it with credit, but then eventually your credit gets too much, and you can't pay it, like, you know. So this podcast is not going to be about addictions only. Like, I'm pretty sure that there are things that I am addicted to, but I feel like I still see a light at the end of the tunnel, you know. I see the light, and I want to run towards it with everything that I have. And a part of that is being honest with myself. And the last time that I got like really drunk and binge drank and had like my family see that, people that have never seen me like that before, and it happened in public, like it was like a wake-up call for me. It was time for me to be honest with myself and make changes in my life, and I need to talk about that, but I'm too ashamed to talk to people in my life about that, because I feel like people have this image of me of being a really good person and a responsible person, and I'm not. Maybe I'm not that. Maybe I'm not as perfect as people might think I am, and I don't want them to see that, you know. And maybe I'll dive deeper into the podcast into why that's such a big issue for me, to people knowing that that I'm not perfect, that there are things that are wrong with me, and I do make mistakes, you know, that I can't share that with people in my life, and I have to say it all out on a podcast, you know. So that's why I'm doing this, and I don't know how many people are going to listen to this, and, you know, I'm 23 years old, and when I think about myself, like, when I also found that old Instagram account of, like, 14-year-old me, I couldn't imagine someone else being 14 right now, like a little girl, and her going through the same things that I did, and not having someone to talk to, someone with the same experiences, someone that's able to say, listen, I've done this, like, I've been through that, and I know how you feel, and these are the things that I might have done different because of the results that I got from the actions that I took. And if I could be that to just one person, that would be so fucking great, because I don't want someone to be where I am and go through the things that I did. So I don't know what I want to call this. Like, I think I want to call it like AA, but not alcoholics. Like, I'm like Googling what can I like call this podcast? You know what? I figured it out. Awareness Anonymous. Let's call this Awareness Anonymous. Like, I believe that self-reflection is the most important thing about your mental health. You cannot, you know, fix your mental health, even if you have a therapist that you're working with, you have a psychiatrist, but you cannot self-reflect. You cannot fix shit. You cannot fix shit if you don't self-reflect. So being aware of yourself as an individual and being able to reflect on yourself is one of the most important things and the most valuable things you could ever do for yourself. So let's call this Awareness Anonymous, where we're being aware of things, we're self-reflecting, everything's anonymous, and we're just working through it, because that's all we got. You know, all we got is ourselves. And the only person that can help us is ourselves. And we need to be kinder to ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. Because if there was someone who loved me, who had to make my choices for me, they would have not made the choices that I did. And I don't regret my choices. You know, I feel like I gained some sort of value from the choices that I made and the experiences that I had, and I can share it with other people, and it made me who I am, and I don't regret it. But I don't think that I was kind to myself, because if someone who loved me had to make my choices for me, they would have not made the choices that I did. So I did not love myself enough to make better choices for myself, like someone would from the outside who loved me. And so yeah, Awareness Anonymous. This podcast is going to stay anonymous forever, so please do not patronize me to, like, reveal my identity or some shit, because that's never going to fucking happen. Like, there's, like, some shit in my life also that I would never, ever share with anybody, not even on this podcast. It is shit that I will take to my fucking grave. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm trying to not talk myself out of this. But I don't want to be known. I don't want people to know my identity. And I feel like that should be fine. But yeah, now I'm using these headphones and I really like them. We're going to listen to some music on them as well. I am so vibing with Addison Rae's music, like the new album, the EP she had put out. Like, it's so quirky, it's so fun, it's so like 2000s, like pop music, like girly girl shit. Like, I love that. And that's what I'm going to listen and like test out these headsets. And also I'm going to listen back to this and see what I look like. And I've been putting this off for months now. No, maybe a month and a half. I've been putting this off, starting my own podcast. And, I just need to fucking do it. I'm going to put this out. Awareness Anonymous. I'm not trying to make fun or like be insensitive to Alcoholics Anonymous, because I do have addictions and I do have a problem with alcohol and binge drinking. I have a lot of fucking issues. It's not just that. It's so many things. But being aware of my issues and being able to self-reflect will help me improve my life and love myself. So this is what this is for. Please do not come at me for that. I cannot fucking handle that. Like, my mental health cannot fucking handle dealing with being cancelled or being judged or like whatever the fuck. Like, yes, I'll probably read the comments, just like see what people are thinking. But, you know, I don't want to be personally attacked. Okay? I don't want to be in the limelight. Like Tana Mojo, Teresa Paytas, like, I have no fucking idea how they do that shit, where they put everything online and the mistakes that they've made and apologize for it and being judged by people. Like, I have so much respect for them because my mental health could not fucking handle that. I am not equipped for that. I am not. And we will get into the details of who I am as a person and experiences that I've had that do not make me equipped for that. But also, there are a lot of things that I never want my parents to know about me. Never, ever, ever. My family, never, ever. People that know me, never, ever. Never. So, that ain't never gonna happen. So yeah, let's get into it. You know, Doja Cat. Get into it, yeah. Get into it, yeah. Fuck yes. Episode 1, not that long. Just an intro. I wanna make notes and have more constructed podcasts so that like episodes like it actually makes fucking sense, because I don't know if this makes fucking sense at all. I'm home alone this weekend and I just need to get this started, even if it's chaos. This intro, I don't care. I just need to do it. I just need to fucking do it, because I find myself like walking. I love walking and hiking and stuff like that. So I find myself walking and talking to myself and coming up with all these ideas, but I don't fucking record it. I don't write it down, and then it's fucking lost. And I can't remember everything that I said and the way that I said it. So I'm just gonna keep fucking recording myself when I want to say shit so that I can actually put it out. Okay, cool. I gotta go now.